Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the runner-up for last year's MVP award, now in his 19th season, Drew Brees.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Coleman has it here right side.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by the Mississippi State man now in his 4th season in the National Football League, Dak Prescott. Prescott looks to throw on first. He'll buy some time right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Rolling, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Check 50.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Screen play. Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
3rd and long for Prescott. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. On the defensive side of the ball, the starters for Los Angeles. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
I got you. I got you.
On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Switzer on the return. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. Breeze now, and that will be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for L.A. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
We play to win. Let's go.
And out now come the Seahawks. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. It's a linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. Third and short yardage, Prescott. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Running from the gun, Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Prescott from the gun. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Watch the screen. Check.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. We're scoreless after 1. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Ready. Yellow lady. You're not ready.
From the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. From the 36, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. To throw is Breeze. On the screen, this is Coleman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they work this out past the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. What a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So that run by Johnson. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And this is incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throw is Prescott. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott now. And Sanders has got it complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Johnson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Man open left side is Brown. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. Tucker's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Johnson. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those too because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now Prescott, and they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Kiko Alonso coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second and goal, Prescott, carry on Johnson, the intended receiver, but now it's third and goal.
Brings up third down and 8 yards to go.
Prescott on third and goal. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. James Washington, his first touchdown on the year. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now Brees. Throw left side complete. It's Coleman. Brees, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Wide open receiver complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. It's caught by Coleman. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Brees. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On third down, here's Coleman. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being over in Arlington, where it'll be America's team, the Cowboys, taking on the Green Bay Packers. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a rematch of an AFC division round game from a year ago. The Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter two. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive.
Switch up, switch up. Switch.
And they start the second half with Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They go to Johnson again. Powering his way forward. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Here we go.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Check 55 to Mike.
On play action, Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. A play action. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did it. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Rightly cautious within the second half. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On the draw play, Coleman. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Tyrone Crawford bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Again, it's Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He finds his man Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the curve.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to launch it for Washington. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now, Prescott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. This is Wilkins. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jordan's his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Tucker with the extra point. And that scores 17-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a
now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The busy night continues for Johnson.
And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 31.
They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing now is Breeze. Outright, he gets this one to Switzer. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Breeze to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Derek Wolfe able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Ready? 95-56.
Now Breeze on third down. Anunwa's got it, complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll run it with Coleman. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Breeze now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Breeze. And incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Breeze to throw for it on fourth. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Breeze. And it coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
On second down now, it's Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson, and he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Here's Switzer. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? From the 38, Breeze. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here's Coleman on the draw. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. From just shy of midfield, Breeze. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's got him. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. I'm coming.
On 1st down, Breeze. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Breeze now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. To throw again on second down. Breeze. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. The Rams on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A defense, and the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. After the sack on first down, Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Every time, keep putting that ball on the ground. That's our ball.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And now he'll tuck it and run. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So the victory here for Seattle, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.